let's talk about planning for LEED, which is Leadership and Energy and Environmental Design. So the only thing I want you to note on this slide, there's no pencil icon here, but there will be, is just what LEED stands for. So if you can just write down what this stands for, having that written down will be helpful. But from here on, we're going to refer to it just as LEED. It is an independent certification program developed by U.S. Green Building Council, and it provides a rating system for design, construction, and operation maintenance of green buildings. So you can get certifications that are LEED certified that show that you have done really good green type building techniques. So here's some of the impact. No pencil icon here, just keep a note of that. The U.S., we have buildings that account for large, pretty significant amounts of energy. And these are just buildings here. So it's 14% of water, 30% of waste, up to 70% of electric consumption, unsurprisingly, because that's mostly buildings. But also just 40% of carbon dioxide emissions is just buildings alone. So why do we LEED certify? There's a few main reasons. One is just to reduce the building's carbon footprint. It also, though, can improve productivity of the occupants just by designing things in better ways. You can reduce costs, you can receive recognition, you can receive third-party validation of an achievement, you can qualify for financials, you can receive positive marketing exposure. So I don't have a pencil icon here, but you are going to be asked to give me at least one reason why a building or business might want to LEED certify. So you might want to still make a note of one or two of these. But once we get through the lesson, I think they're going to be pretty second nature to you. So for LEED, for building, design, and construction, you can do this really anywhere. For new constructions, you can do it for businesses, for government things like school, retail, healthcare. It can be done really anywhere. So we're going to be looking at it with respect to our homes, and we're going to do a LEED certification for our home. So these are the different categories. We're going to go through each of these 9 categories, so you don't need to write these down now. We'll start with IP, Innovative Process. So I'm going to have you write down all 9 of these. IP stands for Innovative Process, so make sure you note that that's what that stands for. It's not IP, Innovative Process. These are the 3 bullets that you should write down. An innovative process is just early collaboration. It's optimizing energy and water, and it's data-driven design decisions. So you might get some LEED credits by collaborating early with others and documenting that, by figuring out ways to optimize energy and water, by having decisions that are based off data. That would give you some LEED credits. And if you earn enough credits, then you can qualify for a LEED certification. And so we'll go into the different certifications in a minute, but that's what you do to earn credits. You can earn credits in location and transportation by having a location that reduces vehicle trips. If you build in an area where there's near public transportation, encouraging alternate transit. If you select certain sites that are beneficial, that maybe don't use existing farmland or things like that, you can get LEED credits. You earn enough credits, you get a certification stamp. Sustainable sites, protecting and restoring habitats, managing rainwater, like this is a green roof, so you're like using some of this rainwater. Reducing heat islands and light pollution. Heat islands would be like massive areas of concrete out in your parking lot, instead of using like islands that have trees on them in your parking lot. So reducing those is a sustainable site credit. You can get water efficiency credits by cutting indoor water use using energy efficient fixtures and energy efficient irrigation, or like watering your lawn. Optimizing cooling inside your house. That would be or a cooling tower, I guess it is. So you can get some water efficiency credits for that. You earn enough credits, you get a LEED stamp. Energy and atmosphere, reducing energy use. So you can, if you have Energy Star appliances, you can get some energy and atmosphere credits. Optimizing heating, ventilation, air conditioning, HVAC, or increasing your renewable energy that you're using on your site. Like maybe you have solar panels, you can get some credits. Through MR, which is materials and resources. If you use certain low impact resources, or you reduce waste, or get resources from a responsible sourcing type area. Maybe that's a forest that is sort of a regrowth type forest that is used only for materials for construction. That might give you a responsible sourcing credits. EQ, which means indoor environmental quality. It's kind of cut off there, that quality. If you have good ventilation, you can see that would improve your working conditions, which I mentioned before. If you have low emitting materials, this is like toxic fumes that things emit. So if they're low emitting materials, that is a credit. Increasing or enhancing occupant comfort can give you indoor environmental quality credits. So LEED design, that's why it can be really helpful for the users. IN is innovation. This is coming up with really with new ideas, sustainability strategies. You can see how deep in thought this individual is here as they're trying to think of some new ways to design and build. So this is going to be more of a case-by-case basis to get innovation credits. You can get credits for regional priority. And this is, depending on where you live, you can get bonus credits. So if you address local sustainability issues, you might get some bonus credits for things. If there's certain things in the region, like here in Colorado, reducing water usage is really, really important. So you might get additional credits just for that because that is a priority. So those are the 9 areas, and obviously you probably pause it along the way so you could write those down. You can, if you earn enough credits total, you can get up to LEED Platinum. The first number, which is 40 credits, is LEED certified. And if you have energy efficient water faucets, that can give you 1 or 2 credits. So that's just an example. So something like that gives you 1 or 2 credits. If you have other things, you continue to add them, and I think it's somewhere around 80 is platinum. So it takes quite a few to get up to platinum. The larger the house is, the more resources it uses, and so you actually have a harder time earning credits if you have a really big house. LEED home size adjustment allows for a reduction in number of credits. You are going to calculate this. You're going to figure out how big your house is that you're designing and figure out how many LEED credits you're going to get for free. So because your house that you're building in Revit is so small and it has so many bedrooms, you actually get an automatic free number of credits. It's going to be something like 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 credits for free that you start with. So you're already going to be on your way to becoming LEED certified. If you have a huge house, then you get negative credits for that. So you actually start in a negative with larger homes. So why do we do this? Well, green buildings can return cost savings depending on the structure. So some of the things that you put in to make it LEED certified cost you more money at the beginning, but they save you money in the long run. That's kind of what this is saying. So it might cost more up front, but it saves money down during the life of the building. So that's why it's people look at it as an investment in energy savings. You can also become a certified LEED architect or designer. So you can obtain this through classes and seminars. So something that if you're interested in this as a career, this is a really, really big deal, designing for energy efficiency. So it's something that you might want to consider down the road. And that's where we're going to end it.